accident that happened. So it is something that has been growing. We have seen a number of people. Last year we saw someone in Bukoto flying off the flats and then dropping down, but that one was suicide. He was tired, he was depressed and all those things. We have had children, even children, young children are doing that to themselves, depending on how they are treated or even the kind of life they are living in. So for us to understand this, I want us to go the medical way today. Today we're going to understand it from the medical perspective, what can be done, what are the causes, and how can this be controlled, because we do not want to have growing cases of suicide here and there. My name is Luke Majumba Lenaito. I want to welcome you to today's issues at hand, and here with me is Dr. Henry Kagwa, who is a medical doctor, but also the founder of Heal Touch Foundation. You're most welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you can start by greeting our people out there.
Yeah.
And we kick off.
All right. My name is Henry Kagwa. I'm a medical doctor and I co-founder at Heal Touch Foundation. We're going to talk about suicide in general. Look at how does it come about, the causes, how can we prevent it, things that are accelerating this problem. Yeah, so we encourage you to be attentive, because this is a critical problem which we need to address.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much. So now looking at suicide itself, yes, from a medical angle, from a medical understanding or perspective,
yes,
how serious is this threat?
Well, suicide is a very serious problem worldwide. Yeah, so about 700,000 people die in the whole world due to suicide every year. And surprisingly, or not surprisingly, majority of these occur in low and middle income countries, where Uganda is inclusive. I find that suicide is the third leading cause of death globally between people who are aged 15 to 29 years. And I also find that Africa is disproportionately affected by this problem, because we find that about 18 suicide cases per 100,000 people. So it's like in Uganda, our constituency has about 90,000 people. So it means almost in every constituency you can find about 18 people who can commit suicide. Wow. Then when you come to Uganda, you find that the problem it's prevalent, and you see that about 5% of people in the general population are at risk of committing suicide. Yeah. Then, though in Uganda the age may kind of differ, because we say peak is between 20 to 40 years.
Okay.
Yes. Though we've seen now cases of childhood suicide due to changing society we live in, increasing societal pressures, and all that. Then also in Uganda, you find that many cases of suicide are not reported. There is underreporting. Actually, there's a study which was done by Dr. Mark Mohan, is a psychiatrist, Mahamani Kagwa, in 2022 among university students. Okay. And the study showed us how the trend is really increasing among university students. People are committing suicide, many are attempting, others are just failing. Yes. And then maybe what's unique with suicide, it commonly affects men. Men are 3 times more likely to commit suicide compared to females, though females make more attempts compared to men.
Okay.
Yes, though can we say they're always unsuccessful in most cases, yes, compared to men.
If a man decides,
yes,
it has to reach the final. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's look at the main causes. What are the causes?
Well, suicide is a psychiatric problem. Yes. So usually, the main causes which have been identified, we have those that have been identified time immemorial, and those which are emerging. Yes. So we have mental disorders. Many people are living with undiagnosed mental illnesses. Yes. Things like anxiety, depression, we have schizophrenia, anxiety, mood disorders, bipolar. People are moving on streets, see others are in their businesses, others are their work of places, but they're depressed. So depression and other mental illnesses are driving this problem. Yes. Other things that can push people to commit suicide include stressful moments. Someone who has a debt he or she can't pay, has tried all the means and fails, may resort to suicide to end that problem.
Okay.
People with chronic illnesses, which are terminal, for example, someone has cancer, can commit suicide. There was a story of a man who was diagnosed with HIV and was using a boat to go back to his place. This instance happened in Kalangala. On the way going back, he fell in water and died. Yes, and to later emerged that he had been just diagnosed with HIV. Other things like relationships, disputes. Someone has checked the other. This is happening more in
universities.
Yes. So many people can't cope up well with such stressful moments. And at the end of that day, someone decides to take their own life. Other things can lead to our past lives.
Okay.
If someone was abused in childhood, their chances of committing suicide may be high. Sexual abuse, whether female or male, as long as those people were abused in past, the chances of them committing suicide are actually high. Yes. Other things that can drive people to commit suicide, some people may feel worthlessness about life. Someone may set goals. At times they may be unrealistic, and when they fail to meet them, they may decide to commit suicide.
Okay, let's look at depression as well. People have attributed suicide to depression so much, majorly in this current state, current economy, current what? How much is depression contributing?
Well, as you know, as I said earlier, that data suicide is not readily available, especially in Uganda here. Yes. So you find that at times we may have a suicide case and we fail to find what led this person to commit suicide. Yes, but we know that many people actually depressed. A big percentage, above 80%, they have some level of depression. Though we have major and minor depression. So those who go to extreme end of depression are the one who most likely to commit suicide. Many times we may feel low in our lives. It's very difficult for someone to be happy all the time throughout their lives. But there are those moments where someone go an extreme. So depression could be contributing a very big percent, because if someone has financial problems, feel burdened, he has a terminal illness, has been left by a loved one. Actually, others also commit suicide when they lose loved ones. Yes, they may not easily cope up and decide to commit suicide. Yes, so depression is really contributing a big percentage to suicide, though statistics may not be readily available. As we say that whenever there is a suicide case, a postmortem must be done to confirm that was really suicide or not, because some people can be killed and others say it's suicide. So since our communities at times they don't believe in postmortem, others discriminate even families of someone who committed suicide, because also family history of suicide makes you puts one at risk. If your family there's someone who has committed suicide, your chances of you also committing suicide are quite high.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So that stigma fail us to have enough data to really quantify this problem.
Okay. And you did mention the background things, what could have happened to a person and then maybe eventually leading to suicide. How about society norms or even cultural backgrounds, things like that? Do you think they also contribute?
Yes. Cultural aspect is also there in suicide. For example, if I have a mental illness, chances of being stigmatized are high, depending on where I come from. So that will prevent me from seeking help to solve my problem of the illness I have, the mental illness I have, and that may drive me into suicide. So culture, to some extent, can drive people to suicide. Culture, the communities where we live. That's why, as we shall see, how we can prevent this problem, things like awareness are very important.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's very important to note indeed. And now let's look at the signs and symptoms, early warnings. What are those things you can tell that Gundi can do anything from any time from now?
Yes. Actually, many do give us clues that they may commit suicide, and because of us not knowing, we ignore them.
Yeah. Actually, there's one who did that. He's from the West. He made calls to all his friends. He said, "I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this." They were just taking it in as a joke or sort of, but eventually, not 2 hours passed, and he was gone.
Yes. Many do give clues, but there are those who don't give clues, especially those the crisis. For example, someone has been abruptly left by a loved one. They can commit suicide without giving any warning. But also the other things we talked about, the family history, abuse in the past can contribute. But there are these symptoms to which someone can look and say, most likely this person may commit suicide. So things like behavior changes.
Okay.
Yes. So if there is changes in how someone behaves, it can be a telltale sign that this person may commit suicide. For example, losing interest in previously pleasurable activities.
Okay.
Someone has been a football fan, but all of a sudden stops indulging into that. It can
Someone is mentioning Arsenal fans.
Yes.
So
other things, actually, we have had cases
we have
someone
had
committing suicide
because of Arsenal. Yes.
Yes. So other things like appetite. It can go high, it can go high or low when someone is depressed, actually.
Okay.
There's changes in sleep patterns. Someone may sleep long hours or lack sleep. Yes, all those can be signs that this person, or symptoms that this person may be either in depression or can commit suicide anytime.
Okay.
Other things like mood changes. The people who have bipolar and those who may just have mood changes. 5 minutes someone is very happy, erratic and all that. Next 10 minutes is very sad.
Very sad, yes.
Those people can easily commit suicide. So if you see someone in such behavior, it's very important that you let them seek help.
Okay.
Then other things which you can look at, if someone gives away their belongings, he gets a car, have that car, gives away money, cows and what, that person may be like closing up his life, closing up the business of his life. Yes, so those are some things which you can look at. Then children.
Actually, I wanted to ask how different, what differs in this early warnings between children and the adults.
Yes. So children, they usually become irritable, very irritable. They may withdraw, even adults may withdraw from society, but children commonly do that.
Okay.
You find the child is isolating, is not playing with the peers. If you try to tell them something, they do it when they're annoyed. Touching them or giving them something to eat or what, they're less interested. It can be a symptom of someone who is tending to commit suicide. Then other people actually tell us in their words,
Mm.
I'm going to die.
Kill.
Yes.
Going to kill
Or I
myself.
want to die.
Mm.
They give us those verbal cues.
Mm.
I want to die. I'm tired of life.
Oh yeah.
I'm overburdened.
Mm.
Others may tell you that they feel worthlessness,
Mm.
hopelessness.
Mm.
If you hear such words, you may need to intervene and help this person.
Mm.
Because if you don't, you may buy for them a coffin.
Mm.
Yes. Then there are others who write this time in the area we're in, people post on their statuses. There's one actually who posted
Mm.
that this is the last time you're seeing my status. The following morning he was found dead.
Wow.
Yes. So if you see actually WhatsApp and the social media, that is where they are helping people to express themselves. So if you see something
Mm.
unusual, it can be something of concern.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, this is really, really concerning. And now this brings me to an understanding of then what is the role of the close allies, the family members in this when they notice these signs? What role should they play?
Well, families are support systems which are very important in alleviating such a problem. A family, if it knows, all the family members know about these symptoms and they intervene early, we may prevent this problem. But the problem is many people don't know, or they take for granted these signs and symptoms of someone who may commit suicide. But a family which has been empowered, which has awareness about this problem, they can easily intervene. Either they can take this person to healthcare practitioners for help, they can take them for counseling, they can take them to church and all that. But if a family, someone is living alone, is not married, actually in psychiatry, one of the protective and good prognostic factor is family. People are married, even in other illness, they're likely to heal more than people who are single.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
So having people around you who care about you is a very good thing in as far as preventing such problems. Yes.
so are there any, can I say, effective ways, maybe medical ways or psychological treatments for these people who have suicidal thoughts?
Yes, we have a broad line of treatment for such cases, from drugs to words. Yes, things like cognitive behavioral therapy, the medication is because we have medicine which treat depression. If you're depressed, we can give you medicine for Fluoxetine and to help you to get out of that problem in conjunction with other things, counseling and all that. Then also addressing the root cause of the problem. If the problem is the financial burden, working around on that in conjunction with our treatment, it can help. Yes, but there is a child in Lila who committed suicide. He was a treasurer. He was in S4. Still, I think happened about 2-3 years ago. He was a treasurer for their small group in school, and they were keeping money. And the box had 20,000. Someone stealthily opened and stole that money. So as they were packing to go back home, the treasurer checked the box and there was no money. The next thought for him was to commit suicide. So a 16-year-old committed suicide because of 20,000. But do you think if this student talked to their family that people entrusted me with their money but has been stolen, do you think they would fail to
Not at all.
to give that 20,000?
I think it also comes along on how they relate, like the connection between them.
Yeah, the relationship. How close are you to your parents? Are your parents? Are you a rebel and government? at all. Yeah? It's it's opposition and the government. So how you relate with your children is very important, because children may not open up. That's why teachers should also be empowered on recognizing some of the symptoms, so that they intervene. Because actually there are students or children who are more free with their teachers than their parents, more free with their friends than their parents. So if there is no that good relationship, open, find that parents say, for your child, you stop here. Me a parent, I don't exceed this. So you find that a lot of there's a gap in their communication and all that.
Wow, it's very important. Yes, please, as a parent, make sure you bridge that gap. But also you, the children, these are the people you're supposed to be talking to the most. Otherwise, you wanting to be speaking to only your peers may not be able to help. There are some instances where the help you get comes in from your parents or the elder people, majorly counseling, those talks really. And also looking at the circles we are in, Doctor, how do you think these contribute as well to these thoughts? Because you find someone has a group, they have their friends, they have a small community, but eventually one dies and literally no one notices. What they can say is, but yesterday we were even hanging out together. Like literally they know nothing about this person's well-being.
All this comes from lack of awareness. Unless someone got into a very bad crisis, life crisis, has lost a lot of money, has been left by someone bumpedly, there someone may not give any clue. But if something has been on for quite some time, they will show symptoms. So, but because the public has less knowledge about the things, our friends continue to die. Yes, our friends continue to die. Then also people tend to care about themselves. You know, human beings are selfish. Someone may tell you that, my brother, I have a problem of 500,000, I'm dying, and you have the money, and you fail to rescue your brother. He has opened up, especially when a man opens up. Yes, has opened up. I have this burden. Would you help me? And so I don't have. A few days later, someone commits suicide, and you buy a coffin of 1 million.
Of 1 million. Wow. That's a big one. That's a very big one. We should really know the friends and the circles we're having, but also be there to rescue them. You don't just people to drink with. If it is time for drinking, you're ready to buy everything. But if they are in need of so much help, they are not there at all. So we are going to go in for a very short break and return with this discussion. But please stay on. This is very, very important information to take in.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Welcome back. You are watching Issues at Hand here. With me is Dr. Henry Kagwa, the founder of Heal Torch Foundation. Of course, he is a medical doctor, and we're discussing about things to do with suicide, really, the causes and how we can be able to prevent, but also how you can be able to help someone, help a neighbor. You've seen the symptoms. Now, after knowing the signs and symptoms, what else can you do? By the way, among the other symptoms he was telling me during the break is even too much alcoholism. Someone has been drinking 2 beers, they are now taking like 10 or so whatsoever. It is also a sign. And these people who overspeed on the road, the border riders, yes, so what is the problem? Those could all be signs. Now, doctor,
Yes, please.
I want us to head into how we can be able to prevent this big threat.
Yeah. So prevention is quite broad, but according to WHO, that's World Health Organization, 2023, they put up strategies in which we can prevent suicide. Yes, because I said it's a third leading cause of people aged between 15 and 29. It's the leading cause in that age bracket worldwide. So strategies which are in place include the first one is awareness and education on mental health. Many people have this knowledge, including health workers, unless you're a specialist or you have interest in this mental health. They have this knowledge with mental health. So when the public knows about all these symptoms we've talked about, they'll be able to intervene early and prevent the problem. So it's one of the major preventive measure we have in preventing suicide. Then other things which we can do to prevent suicide, increasing access to mental health care.
Okay.
Yes. You find that we don't have any regional referral hospital for mental health. We don't have national referral hospital, which is Butabika. And it's overwhelmed.
Yeah, the numbers are quite so many.
Yes, quite so many. So if we have maybe satellite hospitals which deal with mental health, I find that there will be increased access. Because even the private facilities which are there are very expensive. Those rehabs are very expensive. Yes. So if we have increased access to mental health, the community is aware of the symptoms. When they get another symptom, they know where these people can seek help. And it's within reach. Because if someone has the mood changes, has those behavior changes which you talked about, or wants to commit suicide, and is in Iguru, much as at Guru General Hospital, there may be psychiatrists, actually, which are very few in Uganda, or a psychiatric clinic officer. But if there was maybe a designated regional hospital for mental health, which is equipped with all the amenities, it will be much better. Other things which you can do to prevent suicide, limiting access to means of suicide. Things like pesticides. In Uganda, the most common form or means of suicide is hanging and using pesticides or herbicides. So if we limit access to these, someone may not easily commit suicide. If we limit access to guns, if you see maybe a soldier is having behavior changes, moods and what, you withdraw the gun from them. They may not commit suicide. Other things, countries like South Korea, there's a herbicide they stopped. It's called Paraquat. It's on Ugandan market. But in 2012, it was stopped being on South Korean market because it is so lethal. It kills 80% of people who consumes it. It has no antidote and has no known effective treatment when someone swallows it. So in their studies, they found out that people are using it more. When that Paraquat was withdrawn from their market, they saw a significant decline in number of suicide cases. So limiting access is very important. Limiting access to means of suicide is very important. Someone comes to your shop running, give me a rope of 500. Someone is sweating, is annoyed, and wants a rope. You as a shopkeeper, don't you get some interest?
That's
Why
a
this
big
person
one.
is buying what? Rope. Keeping drugs, which we know that they can kill someone in your house. They may tempt you. If you have the ideation of suicide, you may now resort to that medicine, you allow them to die. Yes, so limiting access is very important. Then creating hotlines. For example, if I have someone who is whom I have just rescued from committing suicide, do you have any hotline I call for this person to receive emergency care? I think in Uganda there was Sauti and what, but we don't have such facilities to handle people. So we now have such a hotline where we can report such a crisis for intervention. It may be very important. Then policies. All stakeholders, including the government, policies about suicide, regulating these drugs, alcohol. In US, they have youth policy on alcohol. Some states say people start taking alcohol at 25 years, but here in Uganda, 18 plus, someone starts taking alcohol. Yes. So then adverts for alcohol may not be the best, especially for children, because when you advertise, find even people below the age, they may take. It was good that they banned the circuit alcohol. Are you still seeing circuits?
No, they are not.
It was getting out of hand. Yes. So when you have such policies preventing access to such psychoactive drugs, alcohol, cocaine, marijuana, when you go to downtown Kampala, people smoke marijuana freely. Yes. So those people, they end up with mental illnesses and subsequently they can commit suicide. So policies are very important. Other things which we can do to prevent suicide: empowering the caregivers, teachers in schools, parents, health workers in hospitals, because even a patient with a chronic illness can commit suicide in the hospital. Yes. So when they're empowered with knowledge on how to intervene, how to recognize these symptoms, it may be very important in preventing these cases. Yeah. So those are some of the things which we can do to prevent suicide in our communities.
Is there enough awareness created?
There is less awareness created about this problem, because as I said, suicide is associated with stigma. Yes. Actually, someone who has ever attempted suicide is at more risk of committing suicide again. Actually, I remember when I was still at Imbarijeri Referral Hospital, there's a young prisons officer, he was about 23 years. He drank some organophosphate, drugs which is was killing rats and something like that. So we came to the hospital. I did gastric lavage to attend to him well. Then we put him in on the bed. 30 minutes later, we didn't know that in his prison's uniform he had more of that drug. He took again. Wow. Yes. So someone who has ever attempted suicide may commit suicide, may try to attempt and eventually be successful at it. Yes.
Okay. And when it comes to awareness, so what do you think the media and maybe community leaders can do in this regard? Because there's a lot of information people need to know, and yet they don't know.
Yeah. Actually, in another strategy by WHO, responsible reporting by the media. Yes. So, suicide is quite stigmatizing. Then also, actually, the study which was done in US some time back and showed that when wrong things are done by many people, the general public may think it's the right thing to do. So if we report more and more about suicide in not in a very careful way, actually we may be influencing other people to think that suicide can be a solution to their problems. Yes. So the media has a role in creating awareness and also to responsibly report. If suicide has not been confirmed, you may not need to say suicide, as some people may report, because whenever you have an increase in numbers of people committing suicide, more people may think that's because it's called social validation. Yes.
Okay. And now, what message would you give to someone who has suicidal thoughts?
Someone has suicidal thoughts. It's an emergency. It's a psychiatric emergency. Should be taken to a hospital and gets medical attention. If you ever think about suicide, just know that it's an emergency. Go to the hospital and seek help. The people
doesn't need counseling, sort of.
Counseling is part of what is given in the hospital. Yes, but you may not get counseling from your mother or your peers because they're not professional. They may come in later as support groups to help you in recovering, but the moment you have a suicidal ideation, it's an emergency because the next thing you can kill yourself. Yes.
Okay. So, and how can people come in anyway to identify such people, and then how can someone come in to help?
Well, your peers, your friends, your family can help in so many ways. First of all, we talked about some of these causes which influence people to do that. Someone may be drinking a lot of alcohol because of familial problems at home. The wife is treating him badly and all that. So you may find others have financial problems. So giving these people a hand, being besides with them, talking to them, just even being around them can be enough to them.
Okay.
Because they will feel loved. That feeling of hopelessness, worthlessness tries to temper down. Unlike when they are in isolation, living in solitary environment, it drowns them more into depression.
Okay.
So your friends, your family can really do much. Talking to you that everything will be okay. We are here for you. Such consoling words are very important in averting such problems.
Okay. Do you have specific programs to targeting these vulnerable children or adults who could be having such thoughts?
Currently there are no. We have about 5 mental health programs ongoing. Though some of them may not handle emergencies there and then. So for an emergency, if you have a suicidal thought, it's better to go to the hospital. So programs are there, though some of them may stop in urban areas, not reaching rural areas. Others are just you said funded programs, which Trump took the money. So now you find that the rich may not all be perennial, to be one-off 1-year program and stops. But if you have a designated program, maybe department of health, which of course we have mental health, but having such programs on throughout the year in, year out, to ensure that people get awareness about this problem, it will really be very important. Yes, other than relying on these donations. When donation ceases, the program ends. Contract, 3-year program, it ends. Yeah.
I don't know if this story is true. Someone said that a child committed suicide because their parents refused to give them enough money for pocket money. If such a story could be true, what advice would you have for such a young generation?
Well, we've had a lot of disruptions in how families run, especially in this technological and digital era. Yes. You find that parents are more busy.
Very.
Yes.
They are making ends meet.
Yes. They spend less time with their children. they don't know them. Children are given all what they want. Life can never be smooth platter, especially when you're born in Africa. Yes. So you find rejections in one way or the other. So if a child is not groomed up to cope up with such situations, they may resort to rejection.
Okay.
That's why we talked about our past. So as a child grows, should be told or should experience some form of rejections. That's why you see kings used not to grow up in palaces.
Yeah.
They will be taken in very poor families to know how suffering is, how life with other people is. That one could give them a sense of empathy and tolerance to so many situations. Yeah, but if a child asks for everything and you provide, even where you're limited, you even borrow money to buy what a child likes, which may not be a need, but a luxury. It may fuel this child. It may, in case you're unable to provide, or when you die, and this child remains alone in the world, chances of them committing suicide may be high. Because they don't have any fallback position. You, the parent who put them in such a position to have all what they need, you're no longer there. Yes. So the message I give to parents is to ensure that don't give everything a child wants.
That's a very important one. Not everything is a need, actually.
Yes, maybe you may actually give, but you may create an intentional delay, a strategic delay, and how this child reacts. If there is a delay, the child will grow up knowing, yes, sometimes things can delay, sometimes things may not work out. Yes, as the child grows. Yes.
Very good. Very, very important one, really. There to put it. Maybe as we wind up, can you please kindly tell us about Heal Touch?
Yeah.
Heal Touch, sorry.
Yeah. Heal Touch Medical Center is located in Mengo. We founded it in 2019.
Okay.
When we had COVID-19. So we're a group of 5 doctors. We're trying to create transformation of health in Uganda. Yeah, so we incorporating digital or technology, carrying out telemedicine. Then also we're trying also to ensure that people can get access to health at a very minimal cost. Yeah, so we are expanding and hope to have we have a medical center in Mengo where we treat patients, and then I hope to build a hospital and also create satellites across the country. We have WhatsApp groups which have over 20,000 people. We have Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and all that, and we have clients across the country. Yes, so we're trying to ensure that because there's a gap. Yes, in Uganda, each doctor treats 25,000 people a year.
The ratio is overwhelming.
That ratio recommends one doctor treat 1,000 people a year. So we have few doctors. So we try to ensure that the few are there can attend to more patients. Patients in the villages can die. Someone can go in the village, fall sick, and that's when they've never seen by a doctor. Yes. So these are some of the things we're trying to bridge, and we are on upward trend.
Okay.
Yes,
that's very interesting. So let us wind up, but please give us your last remarks in regards to the discussion today, and maybe your appreciation as well.
Well, suicide is a psychiatric problem. It's not by demons. Much as if someone has ever committed suicide in your family, chances of you also committing suicide are high. And suicide is not a solution. Yes, suicide has never been a solution to problems.
To problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, suicide creates more problems to you people you leave behind. As we've seen that in culture, there is stigmatization. Children are going to be stigmatized. You're not going to be taking care of them. If you're a man, you commit suicide because of a woman, the other man is going to go with that man. So your life will be taken literally. Then children, let's learn to be patient with life. Life can't be smooth all the time. Even a sea or a lake, it does waves. It can't be calm all the time. So the more we learn how to cope up with these challenges, we shall prevent suicide. And life without challenges is not life. Life is a mixture of happiness and some moments of being unhappy. That's what life is. Yes. So most of these challenges are usually temporary. Let's always be calm. Let's know God. Actually, even the Bible condemns suicide.
True.
The government condemns suicide. Your life is not yours. Yes. So wherever we feel low, we return to God, to our families, our parents. Please, let's go back to the traditional way of raising children. Advancement in technologies are good, but they come with many challenges which may not be able to have solutions at the moment. Yes.
Wow.
So I appreciate, thank you so much, Family TV, for giving me this opportunity to come and teach. Because one of the things we lack in Uganda is health education.
Yeah, true.
Many people have limited knowledge about health issues. Because doctors, we are busy. When you come to hospital, I have 100 patients to say, I give you 5 minutes. It ideal, I have to give you 48 minutes. So such programs are very important to educate people, to ensure that we live well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Henry Kagwa, tukoze bulungi, indeed, giving us all this information. But of course, with the biggest message you should take, please do not forget God. That is how there are always moments when you need to talk to someone, and that is Him. Depression will really go, and that is how even the suicidal thoughts will end immediately. Well, I want to appreciate you for joining us this morning. I hope you've had impactful discussions coming in here from Dr. Henry, and I want to appreciate you for joining us this morning. Please, my name is Luke Majumba Alinaitwe. Have a lovely day.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.